Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I'm just getting in here to the office leisurely, 4:30 p.m. It's always nice when you can choose the time that you want to work and when you don't. And I just want to follow up on yesterday's video. It was a lot of fun looking at the responses that I got. One response, I think it was from Ruby, said, I wish this guy Daegan would just quit talking and all these vague weed head sort of things. And I had to laugh because, like, I am the least weed smoking person you will ever meet, and there's a very specific reason for it. That's a story for another day. Catch me at one of my next events at the bar. I'll tell you about it. But I wanted to bring that point home, bring some clarity and some grounding to what I was talking about yesterday. Now, here's the deal. The reason that people ultimately fail in their business on a personal level, on a psychological level, is because they think or expect or assume things to work in a certain way. And when they don't, it hurts their feelings. And when our feelings get hurt enough, then we throw in the towel, right? We quit. And so what that has to do with is it has to do with our worldview. If we think that success is supposed to come to us in a certain way based on a certain assumption, and then it does not, and it never changes, then we get really, really, really frustrated, and ultimately we give up. So the only way to succeed is to see the world for the way that it is, and the only way that you can do that is by changing your worldview. And so when I was talking about slaying the dragon, that's exactly what I was talking about. Here's a specific example that I get hit with like almost every single day as it relates to this. Every day, almost every day, I'll get a message on some level from some place, because there's so many ways that people can connect with you online, basically saying something to the extent of, Daegan, this isn't working. I'm trying to generate traffic and generate leads, but my leads aren't buying whatever I have to offer, right? And I'm getting frustrated. This isn't working. I don't think that this is possible. And I'll say to them, well, what are you doing in your business? And, what's not working? And they'll say, essentially, that people aren't buying. And I'll say, well, what are you selling them? And they'll say, well, I'm in opportunity X, Y, or Z, and I don't know what it is, but people just aren't buying opportunity X, Y, or Z. And I'll say, well, why should they buy it from you? Right? I'll ask them that question, and they'll have no answer. And the reality is, if there's 1,000 other cats out there that are selling the exact same thing as you, and you don't have any superior reason for a person to do business with you over the next guy, then it should be no real surprise that your results aren't meeting your assumptions. And so in order for your results to change, you've got to change. And it makes me think about one of my favorite movies. There's a movie called Idiocracy. And one of the biggest blind spots that people have just makes me think about this movie. So what is the movie about? The movie Idiocracy is about the future, and it's a satire. And it supposes that into the distant future, people keep getting stupider and stupider and stupider. And what will that society look like? The people that, in other words, that are the least intelligent today will reproduce the most, while the people that are the most intelligent won't. And then all of a sudden there'll just be a lot more less intelligent people in the world. You should watch the movie. It's a good movie. And when I think about this movie and I think about what we're talking about right now, here's what I see all the time, and I never, ever, ever quite get it. It's that people will start a business, they'll join some deal, or they'll get excited, and then they'll say, all right, now what do I do? Right? And if you could imagine a person starting a law firm, or a person starting a medical practice, or a person buying a $1-2 million McDonald's franchise, approaching their business that way, you'd laugh, right? But people do it all day, every day in our industry. And when things don't work, they get frustrated. And then when you ask them questions like, well, why should a person do business with you? They have no answer, right? And really, if you even ask them, here's the other part about it that's kind of in line with that, is I'll ask people, what are your goals? What do you want to do? What's your business about? And they'll immediately let me know all the things that they want. But very, very rarely do I ever get any clear detail on what it is that their business is actually doing to provide value to the industry that they're within. And so here's what's happening. It's all these people that have this mental focus that's on them and what they want. And then when people don't pay attention or react to create what they want, they get frustrated. And the reality is, man, the only way you get things in our industry, in the world, in any entrepreneurial endeavor, is you have to focus on and appeal to the selfish intents of them to get your selfish intents met. But all people do is think about what they want or what isn't working and why things aren't the way that they should be. And that's the dragon. That's what's got to get slayed right there. And until you see it, and most people don't see it, it's going to be Groundhog's Day, hitting the wall over and over and over again. And so the way that you see it, remember yesterday I said, you can't see your worldview because you look through your worldview. So the only way that you can see your worldview is to think about the thing that would create the most pain, fear, and just chaos if it was taken away as it relates to that area of your life. And what I see all day, every day is there's so many people that want absolute certainty in results, certainty in what to do to get results. Give me step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they want it to be easier than it is. And so if that's the assumption and the way you look at the world, and then things don't work out in line with that, you got a frustrated person. So how do you change it? The answer, I gave you guys yesterday. Same answer. It's not the world that's got to change. It's us. The world is as it is. So the questions we ask about how we view it dramatically affect how we then perceive, emotionally react to, and then act within that world. And those are the things that bring about whatever result we want in our life, in our business, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully that's a little bit more tangible and a little bit less airy-fairy and weed smoking style than what I shared yesterday. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to doing that next event. So we'll see what happens. All right.